Everybody, we have Becky back for level 2. We're peeking down into the camera. And she's going to just start the same way we started before with a standing roll up. So go ahead and open your feet, hip width apart. Just slowly roll down. Knees are soft. Again, I'm just kind of seeing how she is, how her spine's doing between the first 2 weeks of our program here. Good. Awesome. Nice and smooth. Great, and we're still trying to just decompress this. This can take a long time to actually visibly start to change, but I think that we can start to feel sensation, feel the tightness relieving more and more the more we practice this pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Good, so go ahead and slowly start to roll up. Yeah, all the way back up. Nice. Good, we'll check the shoulder line here. See how that's feeling and looking here. Nice. Good. Okay, awesome. So Becky, go ahead and let's start on the mat. So you did level 1 about at least 5 times, right? Is what you said?
6 times.
6 times, yes. Monday through Saturday, all in a row. And how did you feel?
Great.
Awesome.
Felt doable and like the same amount of energy as lifting heavy groceries, but concentrated in different parts of my body. So I was never like sweating or out of breath. More just kind of concentrated weight.
That's great. Yeah, this is all no impact or very low impact, but pretty much no impact on the body, which is great. So it's really for every level, every body. I'm a believer of that. And if there's something that we're going to add on today that doesn't feel accessible to you, go back to the exercise in level 1 and just replace it with one that is not in this series but is similar to that. And that's going to just help getting your body ready. And the thing I always like to say about Pilates is that it actually gets harder the longer you do it because your muscles start to engage a little bit more fully, your whole body starts to get engaged in movement, and so you get a lot out of even the very level 1. If I do that 20-15 minutes without resting and just all the way through, I start to really feel the work. So yeah, so I'm excited to see your own progression. So go ahead and start lying on your back. Good. And we're going to start the same way we started level 2. So I'm just going to check her alignment, or level 1 here in level 2. We're going to start with that pelvic tilt. So just take a nice inhale. Good. And then exhale, pull the belly button to the spine, imprinting that spine. Good. And then inhale, release into your tilt. Yeah, so you want the inhale to think anytime the body is getting longer is that inhale. And then exhale as the body contracts towards its center. That's usually the good rule of thumb. I don't really talk about breathing too much. And I'm not focused on it as much as like when exactly to inhale or exhale, but that's a general good rule of thumb. Good. Yes, nice. And if you think about it, it's like inhale, good morning, opening your rib cage, right? You want to make room for those lungs, and then the exhale, you contract. Really good. On the next inhale, go ahead and release to your neutral. Good. And exhale, pull back and pause right there. Good. All right. So we're ready to go right into our pelvic tilt. Good. Checking for neutral spine. Excellent. You're going to take a nice inhale. On the exhale, lift your head, lift your shoulder blades, reach your arms forward just into the base of the shoulder blades. Lift. Good. And lower right back down. So we're doing 10 of these. So there's a nice amount to really feel the abdominals and feel that control of the neutral pelvis. Good. And lower. Inhale and exhale, reach. See if you can soften those shoulders and instead reach from your armpit muscles towards your hips. Good, and exhale, curling up again. Nice, and inhale, lower. And you can have nice active arms, almost as if you're pushing away from these springs, imaginary springs behind you. Really good, 5 more. And up, nice, drop the tailbone an inch. Keep that little space for my hand as you lift and reach. There we go. And lower. You got 3 left. Inhale. Exhale. Curl. Engage. Lovely. And roll right back down. 2 more. Inhale. And if the neck's starting to get involved here, just place one hand gently behind your head so that that neck does not have to feel like it's doing the work. Hold here. Really press the head back into your hand. There you go. And slide both shoulder blades down your back. Now, do you feel your abdominals a little bit more? Good. Keep this. Release your right hand and begin to pump your arms. Start pumping. Now, the counts are for the breath. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here we go. We're starting on your inhale. Here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 4. We're going to 10. And exhale, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5. Now, if you, in this level, you can bring your legs up into tabletop. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 7. You can always put your head down or hand behind your head. Inhale, 8. And exhale, curl another inch for me, reach forward. There you go. Inhale, 9, keep it there. And exhale, scoop, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 10, and reach armpits. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug your knees into your chest. Release your head and shoulders, the 100. Really nice. Good. Did you start to feel your neck a little bit towards the end?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's that's your learning. That's gonna happen. As long as it's not all neck, let the neck just be aware that you're feeling it. See if you can release any shoulder tension in that awareness and keep going. But our brain is sending signals oftentimes to the muscles that are already contracted from tension or stress or carrying bags. And so it's really just setting that signal, okay, no, neck's not supposed to be working, and other muscles are going to kick in a little bit stronger. So we can't be afraid of not lifting our head ever, because we're never going to give that abdominals a chance to do their job. But that mind-body connection is key there. That being said, if it's really hard to turn your neck off, just put your head down or put it on like a ball or a block behind you, so you still get a little bit of lift, but you don't have to feel like you're going to get a sore neck the next day. Okay, good. So now we have our knee drops. So we're going to start to move the pelvis in a rotation of the transverse plane. So you're going to bring your legs into tabletop. Good, and make sure you still have that neutral spine, lovely. And then start to anchor your upper body down into the mat. Take a nice inhale as you lower your knees together to the right. Your left hip will lift, but your left shoulder is going to plant into the mat. Exhale, engage your left oblique, pull those knees up. Good. Inhale, lower to the left. Excellent. And exhale, pull up. She's going to continue 3 on each side. Good. And you're moving the whole pelvis. So the legs are not, it's not about the legs moving. It's really about that pelvis dropping without the upper spine moving with it. Good. And to the left. We did this version with our feet on the mat in level 1. This version, you really don't even have to imagine that the legs are dead weight. You can feel the weight of the legs here. So it's kind of really nice to just take it up that extra level. Good. And right back up. You've got 1 more each side. Inhale, it's a nice stretch as you lengthen. Exhale, contract. Last one towards me. Inhale, lower to the left. And exhale, right back through center. Hug your knees in. Good. And we're ready for our modified roll-up. So your feet are going to come down, but you're going to move them towards the end of the mat. So you have a nice wide base here. You might even want them a little wider than that. Yeah, good. Almost as far as if your feet can barely sort of stay on the floor anymore. Good. So start with your arms over your head, lift it to the ceiling, and take a nice inhale. On the exhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders just like your pelvic curl, lifting up. Good. And then you're going to slowly reach your hands towards your fingers and press your spine. This is where we get stuck. That's why the knees are bent, and pull, pull, pull. Good. Inhale, lift your spine. It's your first one. Exhale, start to slowly roll back. This part first. Yes. There it is. There it is. Keep this going until it's on the mat. Press your feet down, 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 and then release. Inhale, up. You've got 8 of these. And exhale, press into those feet. And tuck, press the spine into the mat. That's your propeller. Very good. And reach, reach, reach. That was already better. And reach for the wall. And then keep reaching this way as your lower spine reaches back. Feet pressed down into the mat. You're going to need them in a second. Yes, good. Inhale. So remember that flat plane that we saw when she rolled down? That's what's causing this trouble right here. So we're changing the shape of the muscles so that the spine can change its shape too. It's going to take some time though. And inhale over. And exhale, rolling up. Press, press, press. Create that round shape. You got it. Good. And up. So this is actually a really good moment. Let's slide your back towards the wall. And actually, I'm going to use this fancy device that we have here just because I have this weird gap in the wall. But you can use this against the wall at home. And you want to place your feet, go ahead and place your feet into that block of wood with your knees still slightly bent. You want your heels pressed into the wood. Yeah, there you go. Stay on, yeah. Slide in, good. So now, this time, you want to come forward enough so your knees are still bent. Perfect. Just like you were doing modified, but now the heels are down. So arms up to the ceiling. Same thing. The only thing is I want you to press your heels into that block the whole way up and see how this changes it. Press those heels. Yeah, that's it. Inhale up and exhale. What this is doing is it's helping you engage your pelvic floor muscles. Those are all the muscles inside the pelvis. Now she has a little bit more stability in her pelvis and she can get her spine all the way over. You've got 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Press. Excellent. Good. And I want you to keep your chin tucked to your chest the whole way until you get completely up on your sits bones so that you keep that nice contraction in the whole spine. Yeah, and if you start to slide away, just slide on back. You've got 1 more. Here we go. So chin to your chest so that you get that full spinal flexion. Yes, and up. Excellent. And then control it all the way back down. Going down teaches your body how to come up. So try not to skip that part. Really take that control all the way down with you. Awesome. Okay, very good. So this will be one that you want to maybe start with the wall and then eventually move away from. But it'll be interesting to see if this starts to change even in the course of a week. Doing 8 of these, hopefully, yeah, that will start to change. Okay. Okay, awesome. Good, you can slide on down. All right, so now we have our pelvic curl. Let's bring your legs into tabletop. Good. So if you have any lower spine issues or cervical spine issues in the neck, like any herniated discs, you might want to try a small version of this. And certainly if we progress into legs all the way overhead, you won't want to progress there. You'll want to keep it at this modified version of it for future reference. Okay, so pressing your palms into the mat, you're going to bring your knees towards your chest, and you're going to pull your belly button in and lift your tailbone up. And then slowly roll down 1 bone at a time. Good. See if you can keep your heels towards your glutes as you do that. So even more. Yes, good. See if you can actually, nice tucked here. So it's even less, it's less of a true 90-degree tabletop. It's really kind of almost like you're rolling with a ball. There you go. And right back down. Now, head and shoulders down. You've got 4 left. Tuck right to there and right back down. Even smaller. Focus on the head and shoulders. That's it. Inhale. Use your exhale up. Try not to hold the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Belly button to slide. Yes. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Press into the mat. Just like the roll up, it's the exact same thing. You want to press your whole spine down into that tuck. Good. That's it. Last one. And exhale up. Really good. And rest. All right. So that's the whole idea of the balance in Pilates is moving your spine one way and then moving your spine the other way. So now we're going to kind of go in both ways for rolling like a ball. So see if you can get a modified roll up into that rolling like a ball position so that every movement counts here. So go ahead and extend your legs, slide to that piece of board here, to your wall, and just roll up to a seated position. Inhale, exhale, press. You got it. Focus on that spine. There it is. All right. Awesome. Slide back an inch closer to the center of your mat, and you're going to hug your knees in towards your chest. And I want you to just balance here. Yeah, find a moment where you can sort of, this is even a fun little isolation, kind of tuck and roll a few inches on your sacrum, and then lift and roll back to your sits bones. Kind of just finding, yes, you can see that's your pelvic floor here, stopping the body from rolling back, and your abdominals contract the spine up into extension. And we can do 1 or 2 more of those. Yeah. So she's doing the nice modification where your hands are behind your hamstring. That just helps your legs give a little bit more feedback and connection to the upper body. So now we'll go into the full rolling like a ball. So she's going to create a nice ball shape, curling your chin to your chest, forehead towards your knees. And this is a full body movement. So her knees are also reaching towards her forehead. It's not just one or the other. She's going to keep her head off of the floor. She's going to roll back. Her hips will come slightly up. Exhale right back and balance at the top. Really good. Try 8 of these. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, nice and controlled. Good. And you can keep going at your own pace. And we want a nice smooth coming up. So it's abdominal. We're not just bouncing off the spine. Inhale and exhale up. You definitely want to mat when you're doing this. Inhale back. You've got 3 more. And exhale up. Really good. Relax your shoulders every time you get to the top. Inhale back. Exhale, knees nice and tight if you can towards the body. Just as a nice challenge. You've got 1 more. Inhale and exhale up. Good, and rest your feet down. Nice, really nice. Yeah, and so this is really innovative. innovative of Joseph Pilates, who created this in like the 30s. This was before we knew much about fascia, and we didn't know too much about foam rolling, but this is kind of what I think is the first foam roller for the spine. So it's actually getting each of those vertebrae, it's getting that body weight pressed down to really open up and break up that fascia in between each vertebra to help lengthen the spine. Good, okay, so you're gonna roll all the way down to your back and get ready for your leg circles. Arms down by your sides, and let's go ahead and extend your left leg long. Anchor the whole left side into the mat, flexed foot, and your right leg's gonna come up at a 45-degree angle. Yeah, or you've got the flexibility, you can get there too. Good. You're gonna circle the leg over the body, down, around just to the width of the mat, and right back up. Inhale, circle down, and exhale up. Good. Keep going. We're doing 8 each direction. And now because her side is nice and anchored here, I'm gonna ask her to kind of increase the speed a little bit. So it's going to kind of be like a pendulum swing down, and then she's going to step it up. Inhale, swing down, and exhale, sweep it up. So this way she's kind of following the momentum of gravity, and the work is about stopping the momentum at the top. Last 2. Inhale down and exhale up. 1 more. Down, around, and up, and reverse. Inhale, open, exhale up. Good. And the more you think about lengthening this working leg, it's going to allow that hip flexor to release on the way down so that it's not going to grip this whole exercise. Hopefully, she might still be feeling the hip flexor here, but hopefully she's feeling a little bit of abdominal work too, and the inner thigh work, the whole leg working, the glutes. You've got 1 more. Inhale, down, around, exhale, up. Good. And then go ahead and rest that leg down on the mat to stretch that hip flexor. Pull your left knee into your chest, reach your right leg long towards the wall, and just give your right leg a little stretch, finding that length. Yeah. And then flex your right foot back to the floor, or to the ceiling. Your left leg comes up. Good. Making sure your pelvis is nice and level. Lovely. You're going to lower the leg across the body. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. 8 each direction. Awesome. Good. And here, now that she knows the movement, she's scanning her whole body to check in. Is there tension in her jaw, in her shoulders? What more of her body can make more contact with the mat, right? Like the shoulders, the ribs, what's lifting. Good, you've got 2 more this direction, and up. Last 1, down, around, and exhale up, and reverse. Inhale, open, exhale up. Good. Awesome. Moving that whole leg. And you're also doing a really good job of keeping the leg parallel, which is what we talked about in level 1 of that knee aiming for the ceiling and not necessarily rotating the whole leg inside the hip socket. We're just circling the leg in the range of motion of the hip. Last 2. Down, around, over, and up. 1 more. Down, around, over, and up. Good. Rest that leg on the mat. Hug your right knee into the chest and reach your left heel towards the wall. Nice stretch for the top of the left leg. Good. All right, so it's time to flip on over onto your stomach for our pelvic tilt prone. Resting your forehead on your hands, let your body relax for a moment. And everything's heavy into the floor, good. Especially those shoulders, those start to kind of really just turn on. And then take a nice inhale. On the exhale, pull the belly button away from the floor, doing our prone pelvic tilt. Nice. And then slowly release on the inhale, back into your neutral or slightly anterior tilt. And exhale, pulling up, belly button spine. Look at this nice flat, long line. Good. And then lower down, 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 down. And again. And you're probably thinking, oh, we don't want the flat line, right? That's what we're trying to round. Well, if you think about it, because she is actually on her stomach, her pulling her abs in is actually helping create a rounded curve here. Although it looks straight because she's flat on the floor, this is the same thing the muscles are doing when she's trying to round in flexion. So it's the exact same movement, and now we've just changed her relationship to gravity. Last one. Good. And release. Excellent. So now we're warmed up for our thoracic extension, our spine extension. You're going to reach your arms straight in front of you, and your face is just hovering a few inches above the floor. So go ahead and start by sliding your shoulder blades down the back. Good. Engaging the lats. From the lats, which are these muscles right along the shoulder blades here, I want you to lift your upper spine away from the floor, reaching your arms long, picking up the rib cage, good, and lower right back down, lengthening your spine long. Inhale, Exhale, pull in as you lift, pull the belly button up, feet stay down, and lower right back down. This is a very small movement. She's going at a pretty good height, and we don't really need to go or can go much higher than this. Good, and lower back down. One more, inhale, soften here. Exhale, yes, see if we can do a little bit more without this. So hold this and release this instead. Yes, and lift this up another inch. There it is, and release down. That was great. Take a little child's pose, sitting back on your heels. Good. All right, and now you're gonna come in for swimming. So right back into that same position, arms reaching long up by your ears, face is hovering. And now the lower body's going to get involved. So you're gonna go ahead and bring that right arm up as you reach it long, just a few inches above the floor. And the left leg will lift too, ideally at the same time. And then lower right back down. Good, and now the other side, left arm, right leg, good. Very nice, and so as she's doing this, we're gonna do 8 each direction. We're keeping the spine nice and still from the neck to the tailbone. Just the limbs are moving. This is really nice, and we're still keeping nice active abdominals. Good, and I don't see her neck turning on. She's lifting the whole arm from the back. This is great, and she's lifting her leg from her glute and hamstring, not from the lower spine. We've got, what, 3 more each side? Something like that?
Sure.
And 2, here we go. And down, reaching long in opposite directions with both sides there. Yes, last set, here we go. On the left, reach and release everything back down. Take a child's pose, really nice. Good. All right, come onto all fours for a little cat-cow. So your knees will be right under your hips and your fists will be right under your shoulders, so you can probably bring them back an inch. This is good as you start to kind of become aware of your body to do in front of a mirror, because you can then really see, oh, here's my straight line. Good, and you can feel that. You can actually even test it out yourself by seeing if you bring your shoulders forward, with your whole body. Yeah, and then you can kind of go back past your wrists and then sort of find that medium place here. And then, yeah, that might tell you something about where to put your hands. And you can do the same thing with your hips too. So that's your way of gauging on your own if you don't have a mirror. Okay, good. From here, you're gonna press the floor away, dropping your head, rounding your spine and pulling your abdominals in, creating this nice curve. Good, and then inhale, arch your spine, lift your head and chest, open your chest, sliding your shoulder blades down. So this is very active still and round, but we have to tell those muscles to fire, because this is not a lot of work actually, just to do this movement in and of itself. So instead, we really want to fire the muscles with our brain connection here, rounding as much as we can, especially here, trying to get that, yes, good, and back into your arch, inhale, and exhale, round, good articulation, lovely. One more, and then this is just something that I want to play around with you. You're going to round and hold. Now, oftentimes when we're limited here, we tend to develop more range over exertion here. So I want you to kind of pull this down a little bit. Yeah, and now since this is kind of pulling back, can you get more here without this rounding more? I know, it's just more of a change in your, so yeah, I want this to be a deeper curve, pulling this back. Yes, there we go, but keeping this, sometimes our rounding more, this will really extend, and this will be compromised because of the overcompensation here. Do you feel a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So I want you just to be aware of that in your own practice. Yeah, good, and then release to your neutral. All right, I'm gonna get my phone to time your plank, but go ahead, and this is good, like I just use my my stopwatch app on my phone, and I kind of just put it right here so I can see it. So I'm going to do that for Becky. I'm going to start the stopwatch as soon as she is in her full plank. Okay, looks good. Here we go. We're going for 30 seconds. Great, this is good. So what I'm looking for is this nice flat plane. I don't want too much winging of the shoulder blades. So as she starts to sink down, she's going to actually press the floor away more. Yes, really good. Opening up the back, engaging those back muscles. The belly button is pulling away. She's still breathing. Yes, and the shoulder blades are sliding down. Lovely. She has 6 seconds left. Good. The heels are right over the toes. Really nice, and release down to your knees. Sit back on your heels. And if she feels like she wants to challenge herself with her week, you can always add more time as you go with that plank. It's the last thing you're doing for the most part, so go at it. You feel like you can go longer without losing your form? Go ahead. Good, so now go ahead and bring your hands to the floor, curl your toes under, and send your heels to the mat, walking your hands towards your body and slowly roll up to a standing position to end with your balance. Great. Good, so come on over here. You can grab your ring again or whatever you use for balance, or you don't have to use anything. Pillow's fine, it's just kind of nice to have something for the arms. Good, so we're going to start with your heels together, toes apart, yep. And then go ahead and bring the ring over your head for a challenge for this week. You're still going to do a set of 8. Inhale, lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, lower down. Good, heels stay together. Inhale, lift, 2, 3, and 4, and exhale down. 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Nice, 4 more. Good, keep those heels connected, so if you have to bring your feet a little closer together, you can. Your toes, yep, and see what it feels like. Now you have to really key into those glutes. Nice. Articulating through the feet here, really good. And this is just telling the body what her vertical alignment already is and getting all of the muscles in place. For any of you who are trying to work up to a handstand, this is the first place to start, because a handstand is just the reverse of this, but we have to learn how to stack our body and hold it up with itself. Good, last one, lifting and lower down, lower your ring, roll your shoulders back, and you're all done. Woo-hoo! A little bit more work this time, right? Yeah, so it'll be fun, okay? Awesome. Thank you. Cool, nicely done.
Thanks, Miss Kayla.
You're welcome. How's that for you?